So I came across a very interesting article on Newsbreak. Supreme. It's about Derek Chauvin. The Supreme Court declines to review Derek Chauvin's conviction in George Floyd's murder. The Supreme Court on Monday declined to review former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's conviction for the murder of George Floyd, whose killing reignited the Black Lives Matter movement and sparked worldwide protests in summer 2020. Chauvin had asked the justices to hear his case after Minnesota's top court declined to do so. The justices declined to take up Chauvin's appeal, letting his conviction stand. Wow. Why wouldn't they? Video footage spread widely on social media showing Floyd's pleading, "I can't breathe," as the then Minneapolis police officer kneeled on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Protesters in cities nationwide and elsewhere took to the streets following Floyd's death, and demonstrations continue into Chauvin's state murder trial. Nearly 11 months after Floyd's killing, a jury convicted Chauvin on charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Chauvin, 47, has been appealing his conviction on various grounds while he serves a more than 22-year prison sentence. Citing prejudicial pretrial publicity, Chauvin sought the Supreme Court review to decide whether he was improperly denied a venue change. This is the man who had pinned this black man's neck down to the ground for 9 minutes while people were filming him. People were standing around filming him. He continued to suffocate this man, murder this man, while the man was yelling, "I can't breathe." But citing prejudicial pretrial publicity, Chauvin sought the Supreme Court's review to decide whether he was improperly denied a venue change. Chauvin also wanted the justices to review his conviction to determine whether his trial judge was obligated to hold a hearing to consider allegations of jury misconduct discovered after the verdict was issued. Chauvin noted fears of riots in Minneapolis as the city braced for a verdict, arguing that jurors had a personal vested interest in finding Chauvin guilty to avoid threats of violence to their families and the community. Oh, this man is full of crap. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm going to read that again. Chauvin noted fears of riots in Minneapolis as the city braced for a verdict, arguing that jurors had a personal vested interest in finding Chauvin guilty to avoid threats of violence to their families and the community. Nah, that not that he had murdered a man, not that that he leaned on this man's neck for 9 minutes while the man was yelling, "I can't breathe," and people were filming it. Mr. Chauvin's case shows the profound difficulties trial courts have to ensure a criminal defendant's right to an impartial jury consistently when extreme cases arise, his attorney wrote. Following his murder conviction, Chauvin later pleaded guilty to criminal charges for depriving George Floyd and a then 14-year-old boy of their civil rights on separate occasions. He was sentenced to serve 250 months in prison in the federal case. Last week, Chauvin made another attempt to overturn that conviction, continued that the new evidence reveals he didn't cause Floyd's death. Wow. Full of shit. And that man is full of you know what. And then somebody in the comments wrote, "Put him in general population and call it a day. Give him the same mercy he showed Floyd while he cried for his mama. Stop entertaining this monster." And then somebody else wrote, "It's kind of hard to win an appeal when you have people standing on a sidewalk recording the entire incident. That is the reason why the three of his counterparts got to join him in the Crowbar Hotel." I mean, well, God, this man is crazy. But then there's another article that came out 6 hours ago on Newsweek, says weekly safety report. Wrong one. Sorry. Former police officer Derek Chauvin stabbed at federal prison in Tucson. Let's see. According to 13 News, Tucson, Arizona, former police officer Derek Chauvin, convicted of killing George Floyd, was stabbed and seriously injured at a federal prison in Tucson, according to the Associated Press. This came out on November 24th, 2023 at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed an inmate was assaulted at the Federal Correctional Institution Tucson, but its spokesperson declined to identify the inmate. Federal authorities said no employees were injured and Chauvin needed life-saving measures and was transported to a local hospital. According to CNN sources, he is in stable condition. Greg Erickson, Chauvin's attorney, told CNN they are working on getting confirmation. Visitation at the facility, which has about 380 inmates, has been suspended. In June 2021, Chauvin was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison for the death of Floyd. Floyd, who was black, died on May 25th, 2020, after Chauvin, who is white, pressed a knee on his neck for 9.5 minutes on the street outside a convenience store, where Floyd was suspected of trying to pass a counterfeit $20 bill. Bystander video captured Floyd's fading cries of "I can't breathe." His death touched off protests worldwide, some of which turned violent and forced a national reckoning with police brutality and racism. 3 other former officers who were at the scene received lesser state and federal sentences for their roles in Floyd's death. Last August, Chauvin was transferred to the Tucson facility. Early this week, the Supreme Court of the United States rejected his appeal on his murder conviction. This is not the first time an inmate has been assaulted at the federal prison in Tucson. Former sports doctor Larry Nassar was assaulted at the federal facility on Wilmot Road in 2018 before being transferred to a facility in Oklahoma. Nassar was later stabbed at a federal facility in Florida in July 2023. It is also the second major incident at the Tucson Federal Prison in a little over a year. In November 2022, an inmate at the facility's low-security prison camp pulled out a gun and attempted to shoot a visitor in the head. The weapon, which the inmate shouldn't have had, misfired and no one was hurt. Chauvin, 47, was sent to FCI Tucson from a maximum security Minnesota State Prison in August 2022 to simultaneously serve a 21-year federal prison for violating Floyd's civil rights and a 22.5-year sentence for second-degree murder. Chauvin's lawyer, Eric Nelson, had advocated for keeping him out of general population and away from other inmates, anticipating he'd be a target. In Minnesota, Chauvin was mainly kept in the solitary confinement largely for his own protection, Nelson wrote in court papers last year. Well, the Bible says that whoever lives by the sword shall die by the sword. The man committed cold-blooded murder. I mean, why? I don't understand why they feel the need to protect a person who's been convicted, proven, and convicted of murder, especially when the man was caught on film. I mean, he leaned on that man's neck for 9.5 minutes and murdered him in cold blood in front of the whole world while he was being filmed. And they over there talking about some solitary confinement, not putting in general population. I mean, why do they think that his life is more valuable than George Floyd's or anybody else's? The chief of Minneapolis Police, Brian O'Hara, released the following statement. Violence is barbaric and tragic and should never be cause for celebration. Derek Chauvin's conduct on May 25th, 2020 was unequivocally criminal and resulted in death. Today's news is cause for quiet reflection as the world continues to process and Minneapolis tries to heal from very open wounds. I mean, let me go ahead and just play this right here. I want to play it. Play this video. I want y'all to hear it.
20 years in prison for violating.
We begin now with some late breaking news here on the news at 10 tonight. Derek Chauvin, the ex-police officer convicted of killing George Floyd, triggering violent protests across the country, is in the hospital after being attacked in Tucson's federal prison. It happened this afternoon at the federal facility on South Wilmot Road, forcing corrections officers to take life-saving action. Our 13 News reporter Andreas Rendon joining us live from outside the Federal Corrections Institution. Andreas, what can you tell us?
Well, Ashley, the Associated Press is now confirming the stabbing of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, and this just hours ago. The assault all happening here in the federal prison in Tucson off of Wilmot Road. So here's what we got so far. 13 News reached out to the Bureau of Prisons this afternoon after getting word of an attack on an inmate at the prison. The Bureau never confirmed the name of the inmate, but they did say the inmate received life-saving measures from responding employees and EMS. The inmate was then taken to a local hospital for treatment and evaluation. And now, less than an hour ago, sources close with CNN are reporting that Chauvin is now in stable condition. For those who don't know, Chauvin used to be a police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, until he killed George Floyd in May 2020. Chauvin kneeled on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, and Floyd died due to asphyxiation. The death of George Floyd sparked numerous protests across the country condemning racism and police brutality here in the United States. Chauvin was convicted of killing Floyd in April of 2021 and is currently serving a 22.5-year state sentence for murder. The ex-police officer was transferred to Tucson's Federal Correctional Institution last year in August to simultaneously serve over 20 years in prison for violating Floyd's civil rights. The Supreme Court earlier this week have rejected Chauvin's appeal for the murder of George Floyd, and right now Chauvin is currently trying to appeal his conviction for civil rights violations. Now, no other inmates or employees were injured in this stabbing, and right now visitations to the facility have been suspended. Of course, this is a developing story and lots of details have yet to come in, but of course, we're going to keep you updated both online and on air with the latest. Reporting live near Wilmot on I-10, Andres Rendon, 13 News.
So I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that. I mean, what do y'all think about? I mean, to me, in my personal opinion, I think that justice was served. I think it served him right. You know, I mean, you live by the sword you die by. You shouldn't be allowed to commit murder, kill somebody, and then expect protection in prison or expect to just continue to live your life after you murder somebody. And he did it in cold. He did it in front of everybody. Or how do you think you could just kill somebody? Oh God. And nothing should happen to you. You don't think you should die the same way. That doesn't make any sense to me. But then there's another article on Newsbreak weekly safety report: teenage vandalism, deadly shooting, assault, and murder shake Gaithersburg, Maryland. Gaithersburg, Maryland has experienced a series of concerning incidents recently. A family reports being terrorized by teenage vandals, with the latest incident captured on surveillance video. 2 individuals have been arrested in connection with the deadly shooting that occurred in early November. Another incident involves a man rear-ending a woman on I-95 and then allegedly assaulting her. Lastly, a murder suspect was apprehended in Gaithersburg after a Maryland man was killed in a hotel on Falls Church. These incidents highlight the need for increased safety measures. But my main interest is this family is being terrorized in Gaithersburg by teenage vandals who a family in Gaithersburg reports being terrorized by teenagers, with the latest incident occurring at their front door. The family believes that what started as a prank has escalated to a more serious situation. Surveillance video captured the incident, which involved bangs, laughter, and shattered glass. The Gaithersburg family says teenage vandals, according to Fox News, Gaithersburg family says teenage vandals are terrorizing them. And they want it stopped. The latest incident was captured on surveillance video. The family told Fox they are concerned that what may have started as a prank a couple of weeks ago has now escalated to something more serious. Imagine you're at home, fast asleep, and suddenly awakened by bangs, laughter, and shattered glass at your front door. That's what they say happened this past Saturday around midnight. In Ring video shared with Fox 5, You can hear the three teens laughing. Two of them have their faces covered. They're kicking and stabbing the front door with a stake from a yard light, and one person's face is exposed, all while he busts open a porch light. The video shows the teens then running away, leaving the family who lives at the residence in fear and confusion. A woman who lives in the house said the teens ran to a dark-colored car and sped off. She filed a report with the Montgomery County Police Department, and officers are investigating. So let's see. Let's go ahead and I want to share that. I want to share that with y'all. Share. Just a second. I'm going to share with you all.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office.
I didn't mean to do that.
And another Shamari Stone exclusive tonight. A family says that teens are terrorizing them and they want it to stop.
And the latest time was caught on camera. Shamari's live in Gaithersburg with a story you'll see only here.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Imagine coming home. You're sitting in your chair. You light a candle. You just want to relax. Then you go to bed. While you're fast asleep, you suddenly hear laughter, banging, and shattered glass, not knowing that it's right outside your house here on the other side of this door. You come with me? You see this little Ring camera right here? It captured what was going on this past Saturday night. Take a look. You can hear the three teens laughing. Two of them have their faces covered, kicking and stabbing the front door with a stake from a yard light. And then look at this guy. His face is exposed as he breaks the porch light. And then they run away, leaving this family who lives here in fear and confusion. What's your reaction when you see that video?
It's terrifying, and my whole family was terrified, and just by hearing the loud noise and somebody trying to really break the door, because the way the loud noise that we heard, it was just very loud.
And this isn't the first time that you've had something like this happen.
No, this is the second time. They did it a week ago before Saturday on a Friday. Now they repeated again on this Saturday.
Any idea why your house has been targeted?
We have no idea.
Well, as you can see, it's certainly not welcoming guests this Thanksgiving week. They still have the damage here. This is the stake right here. You can see damage on this front door and this shattered glass. All of it's going to have to be replaced. But again, this family is concerned that this could become even more serious. And Montgomery County Police are investigating. They urge anyone with information about this to give them a call. In Gaithersburg, I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you, Jim and Angie.
Well, you see, I first of all, that is scary. I'll be terrified too if that would happen to me. That's scary. You in your home, you feel protected and safe, secure in your home, and then some jerk, some idiot, teenagers or whoever they are, is banging and running and terrorizing you. I want to stop. I mean, I don't know why. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what happened here. I see what happened. I should have shared this too. Another one. So I'm going to share that one as well.
Reaction from a school employee, Nana.
Yes, Jim and Angie, the shooting happened this afternoon in Southeast, and we know the name of the man who was shot and killed. He is 35-year-old Rodney Sneed from District Heights, Maryland. This is just another homicide that happened way too close to where children live and go to school.
It's frustrating because at the end of the day, we just want the kids to be safe here.
But protecting children can be difficult for Marquel Jones when there are gunshots going off near the classrooms.
But the situation today, it's in the middle of dismissal. So we're all just focused on trying to get everybody inside and just making sure the kids are good.
Jones is a behavior technician at Henley Elementary. When school leaders were informed by DC police that there was a shooting just up the street, the school went on lockdown. On 4th Street near the intersection of Chesapeake, police are investigating what led to the deadly shooting of a man at this housing complex. Mr. Jones says these shootings are becoming way too common for his students.
We hear the kids talk about it within each other. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, did you hear the shooting last night? Yeah, my mom had me hide under the couch. My mom had me hide under the table.
An environment Jones says children shouldn't have to live in, but one he says he isn't leaving.
I work it because the kids over here are wonderful. We have some of the best kids in the city. Like, even regardless of what goes on outside of this building, inside of this building, they're regular kids.
Now, police have not made an arrest in this case yet, but according to their data, there has been 247 homicides since the beginning of the year. This is the highest total in 2 decades, guys.
Hey, everybody. Guess what happened in the news? Got a very, very interesting article. Al Jazeera, and I'm sure y'all heard of that news. It's one of those alternative news. It's not a mainstream news. They have a nice article about Derek Chauvin, police officer who killed George Floyd, has been stabbed, reports. Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, has been seriously injured in a stabbing, media in the United States has reported. Chauvin was stabbed by another inmate at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson, Arizona on Friday. The Associated Press, the New York Times, and ABC News reported citing unnamed sources. ABC News cited sources familiar with the situation saying Chauvin was in a stable condition and was expected to survive. Too bad. The Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Floyd's death in 2020 sparked enormous protests against police brutality and racism, with I Can't Breathe becoming a rallying call for change in the U.S. and numerous other countries. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed that an inmate at the Tuscan prison was stabbed without identifying the inmate by name, and that no other inmates or prison staff were injured. Chauvin, who was filmed kneeling on the black man's neck for more than 9 minutes, was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison after being found guilty of murder and manslaughter charges in April 2021. In June 2022, Chauvin was sentenced to 21 years in prison for violating Floyd's civil rights in a separate case. Okay. ABC News. Oh. So on Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear Chauvin's appeal of his conviction for second-degree murder. Chauvin's lawyers had argued he was denied his right to a fair trial because of publicity before the trial and concerns public safety could be threatened. Before the trial and concerns public safety could be threatened if he was acquitted. 3 other former officers who were at the scene of Floyd's death received prison sentences of between 3 years and 57 months. In June, the outcome of a U.S. Justice Department probe into the Minneapolis police found that officers often use violent and racist practices, including unjustified deadly force. So what do y'all think? I mean, do you think justice was served? I mean, isn't there a scripture in the Bible that says that whoever lives by the sword will die by it? I mean, why did Derek Chauvin feel like he should be? Why does his lawyer? Why do they put people like him in and keep them out of general population? People who have been found guilty of murder. See, the thing that makes it so bad is that Derek Chauvin was filmed kneeling on this man's neck. Phenomenal. He didn't stop. I mean, he was bold. He didn't care that he was being filmed killing this man, taking this man's life out while the man was yelling, "I can't breathe." He just didn't care. I mean, he was very, very cold. And then people have the right to fight for his right to be protected while in prison. You know, I mean, some of these people just ain't going for all these folks, these white men killing black men, just like Jeffrey Dahmer was attacked and murdered by a black man while he was in prison. All them black people that he killed. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not sorry that he was attacked. I don't feel sorry for him at all, and I don't think he should receive any protection. I think he should be put in general population. If he gets murdered, he gets murdered, because this man committed murder in front of the whole world. I mean, it's on camera, and I can't believe that they only gave him 22 years anyway. That was such an insult. Why would you give him 22 years? But you know what? I don't think that Derek Chauvin is going to make it out of prison alive. I don't think he's going to make it out of prison alive, and I'm not sorry for him. He shouldn't, because whoever lives by the sword shall die by the sword. So what do y'all think? I just want to know what y'all think about, Derek Chauvin's attack. What do y'all think about it? Leave your comments. Thank you. Go ahead and watch that. And then that's right there. You know, Derek Chauvin. Murder. I'm not sure that it would for me to report.
Derek Chauvin.
Yes, it's Chicago's very own WGN Music.
So Derek Chauvin was convicted.
So my wife got me this weird new tool for Christmas. And at first, I thought it looked kind of crazy. But after using it just one time,
JLR investigates. Breaking news.
Let's see. Derek Chauvin stab.
We begin with breaking news. Derek Chauvin, the man convicted in the death of George Floyd, has been stabbed at the Federal Correctional Institution here in Tucson. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney. Monica Garcia has the night off. We have team coverage of the attack. News for Tucson's Gabrielle Parrish is live from Banner UMC, where we believe Chauvin is being treated. But first, let's get to Cristiana Ramos, who joins us live from the federal prison on the southeast side of Tucson with more on what we have learned so far. Cristiana.
This is the Federal Correctional Institution where sources say former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, was stabbed by another inmate earlier this afternoon. Now, very little details about the attack at this time. The Bureau of Prisons confirmed that an incarcerated person was assaulted at FCI Tucson at around 12:30 p.m. today. In a statement, the agency says responding employees contained the incident and performed, quote, life-saving measures before the unnamed inmate was taken to a hospital for further treatment and evaluation. No employees were injured and the FBI was notified. We're told visiting at the facility has been suspended. Now, we did reach out to Chauvin's attorney's office. They would not comment at this time, but we're still following this story very closely, bringing you team coverage tonight. Gabrielle Parrish is live from a local hospital we believe Chauvin is being treated at. Gabrielle.
That's right, Cristiano. We saw 3 law enforcement officers here at Banner University Hospital. We're still working to confirm if Chauvin is being treated for a stabbing wound in the hospital behind me and what his current health condition is. Around 6 p.m., we saw 3 officers walking to their car in that parking lot over there. We saw them wearing bulletproof vests. 2 of them had on all black. Another was wearing green. We also watched them from a distance where we saw them get into a white Volkswagen and drive off from the hospital parking lot around 6:30 tonight. Keep in mind, Banner University Hospital is the #1 trauma center here in Southern Arizona. Also, we are still working to confirm if Chauvin is being treated for that stabbing wound at Banner University Hospital. News 4 Tucson will continue to keep you updated with the latest information. Back to you, Sean.
All right, thank you, Gabrielle. All this comes after the Supreme Court struck down a petition from the former Minneapolis police officer. This Monday, Derek Chauvin's lawyers appealed on the basis that Chauvin did not receive a fair trial. They claimed jurors in his case had a vested interest against acquitting him out of fear of instigating more violence across the country. But on Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court rejected Chauvin's appeal without comment or a recorded vote. And you may remember that Derek Chauvin was convicted in the death of George Floyd in June of 2021. His conviction reverberated across the country and the world, sparking massive protests. Here are some key events that led up to his sentencing. May 25th, 2020, George Floyd died in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right. Who's going in first?
Don't look at me. Oh, stop acting so scared, Annie. I didn't see you offering to go in first.
Oh my God. I'll just go in then. I'll save you guys the trouble.
Are you sure this is a good idea? Isn't this trespassing? Oh, come on, Lori. You don't feel like that. Like what?
Enough, Annie. And listen, if you're not comfortable going in there, Lori, you don't have to. You can just wait in the car.
You know what? I'll go in. That's my girl.
Hell yeah. Let's do this. Ooh, he said, getcha. We should be able to get in through the back. Paul, try to find something to get this door open.
Are you sure no one lives here?
Positive. The Myers died like 2 years ago. I don't know. They're like in their 80s or something.
Explains why this house looks so old.
Ugh, this place gives me creeps.
All right. Who wants to check out the basement?
Can we get this over with? It's just killing me.
You coming with us?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I am.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Hey guys, give me a second. I gotta go piss.
Ew.
All right. Just go outside, dude.
Nah, I'll just use the bathroom.
The fuck? No, go outside. The toilets definitely don't work.
Who cares?
Bro, just go outside.
Ugh, fine.
Ooh. Ladies first.
Okay, asshole.
Shit.
It makes no difference. What was that?
I think Paul got stuck outside. He's probably banging on the door to your position.
What? He asked you to come with us for a reason. Go with him. Okay, I'm going. I bet this girl needs to get out more.
It's not budging. I was just trying to front.
Oh, this is disgusting. Yeah. Wait. Stop.
Oh! He's not out. So back inside.
Hey, can I ask you something?
About what?
About you asking me to come here with you.
What do you mean?
Well, you never asked me to hang out before, so it was just a surprise that you asked me to come along with you guys, and I was just wondering why.
Well, you know, it's like I always see you talking to Andy at your locker, and I don't know. I just wanted to hang out. Come on, let's go find Paul and Andy. What's on those guys? Sure. Paul, Annie, where you guys at? Ed, if you're trying to scare us, it's not going to work. Whatever. I'm gonna see if Paul's upstairs or something.
Wait. Do you want me to go with you?
No, it's fine. If you want, you can check and see if Andy's still in the basement.
Sure. Right?
Cool. Paul, you up here? Paul?
She's eating. Now her lady didn't help because she won't come in. You just gotta have to stop it. People start living. You're gonna have to stop living. Let's start living. Let's you do it like that. I'm not going. I am not lying. I'm not doing that. You can go ahead and play that game, but I can't. I got no business there. And those earplugs.
Ben? Annie? Paul? Come on, guys. This isn't funny. I'll kill you if this is a joke.
Y'all being murdered. They're being murdered. So everyone being murdered. She should have been running her ass up out of there. That's a shame.
Yes,
He ain't dead. He's not dead. I don't think. He ain't dead. And then, I don't know where she going. I have to go.
Recordings just got back. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
Breaking news. Breaking news, everyone, out of Arizona. Little information, but Derek Chauvin was stabbed at Federal Correctional Institution, Tucson, Arizona this evening. And there's a lot of speculation whether Derek Chauvin is still alive or not. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you. This is breaking. This is a big deal, folks. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Derek Chauvin stabbed in prison. Former Minneapolis cop is brutally attacked in a medium security Arizona penitentiary where he is serving 22 years for the murder of George Floyd. Breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. Come on in. A stabbing has occurred. I'm going to try to get some details, but there's some conflicting reports out there, whether he's still alive or not. He's alive. We're going to talk about this. Now, why would this happen? Well, Derek Chauvin is a very high-profile individual, right? Very high-profile individual. What he did basically caused a lot of riots and protests across the country. Riots and protests across the country. And just recently, and I thought the timing of this is very, very interesting because just recently, he was in the news for two things. One, he's part of this documentary. He's part of this documentary called The Fall of Minneapolis. But him himself, in this documentary, called the whole trial a sham. He called the whole trial a sham. And people were outraged by that. They were outraged that he would speak out. And this was just a few days ago, folks. This was, look at the date on this article, November 20th. So just 4 days ago, Chauvin said he's speaking out from prison in the new George Floyd documentary, The Fall of Minneapolis. The whole trial was a sham. So he's speaking out and calling it a sham. Now, he's in Tucson. He's serving 22 years in prison for Tucson. He's also got like a 20-year sentence in Minnesota, but he chose to do the time in a federal prison instead. And he's in a pretty rough place. Because you know what? You know why he's in a pretty rough place, folks? It's because Larry Nassau got stabbed and attacked at the same location. And this place in Tucson, FCI Tucson, is very short-staffed, and it has a lot of gangs there. It's close to the U.S.-Mexican border. It got a lot of gangs there, and for whatever reason, they send him there. They could have sent him to any facility across the country, but they want to send him to one of these really bad places that are short-staffed, and the inmates run the asylum. Right? So limited information out, but let's figure out what's going on here. Let's put the pieces together and talk about this because he might not be alive. Because some people are pointing out that they took life-saving measures on him before he was taken out of the prison. So apparently problems.
You mean you never ended the stream?